Well, it looks like Hasan Piker has said some problematic things yet again in regards to the Jewish community. And the candidate, Abdul El-Sayed, has to take time from his campaign to address it. Let's talk about it. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I am your host, Tabitha. If you've come across this video and are not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button. It is free 99 and I would be happy to have you. Yep, yet again, Abdul El-Sayed has to take time out from campaigning to deal with some stupid shit that Hasan Piker has said. And from what I can gather, this is what Hasan Piker had to say.
And you want to know why? Because people don't fuck with Israel any longer. And if Jews in America keep putting this idea out there that they are singularly invested in Israel, eventually someone's going to come around and take action, not against the state of Israel, mind you, but against American Jews. Okay? We're teaching people the wrong lesson. I don't know how people don't recognize how dangerous this predicament is, how dangerous this is for Jews. You're running around basically tying your entire identity to a country that inevitably will be seen as basically Jewish ISIS. And you're saying, as Jews, this is all we care about. You're making anti-Semitism work.
Now, I'm going to be fair. I can understand what Hasan Piker is trying to say. But I can also see how problematic it is what Hasan Piker said. It is my opinion that Hasan Piker is simply trying to say that because of the atrocities that It's Not Real has committed over in the Middle East with Iran and Gaza, Palestine, and Jewish people are standing firm in their support for It's Not Real, that those of us, some of us who see what It's Not Real is doing is very problematic, and there are some people who will act on it. Those people will take it out on Jewish people. I get what it is that he's trying to say. But what he is saying on his platform, in front of millions of people, can also incite some problematic people to be violent towards Jews. I wish Hasan Piker would just totally separate himself from Abdul El-Sayed, because when you look at this race out in Michigan, we all want Abdul El-Sayed to win. He is the better candidate. He is the Democrat in the race. So we want for Abdul El-Sayed to win. But Hasan Piker is strapped to the neck of Abdul El-Sayed. And therefore, Abdul El-Sayed had to put out this statement. His statement reads, "I believe all Americans deserve the right to advocate for what they believe without fear of violence. This is particularly true for communities that have been intimidated for their beliefs in the past. My commitment to Jewish safety is the same as my commitment to the safety of my own daughters. Anti-Semitism is a scourge, and we need to address it in all its forms, and I stand against any rhetoric that puts the community at risk. But I want to be crystal clear. Nobody speaks for this campaign besides me and my campaign spokespeople. And while politicians and pundits try to make this race about a Twitch streamer, we're going to be talking about gas, groceries, good schools, and health care, because that's what Michiganders keep asking about. It's why I'm fighting to get money out of politics, money in your pocket, and Medicare for all. Abdul El-Sayed is out there campaigning, trying to bridge a gap between the Arab/Muslim community and the black community. And he has to take time out from that to address some stupid shit that Hasan Piker has had to say. Abdul actually recorded himself taking a question during a meeting that he had with black community members.
So my question to you is a good question. What do you plan on doing about bridging the gap between the black community and the Arab community that owns gas stations and stores that can sometimes be very disrespectful to our community?
Yes. For as long as I've been a public servant in this state, I have been trying to lead a conversation in the Arab community about what it looks like to be partners in a community. Because here's the thing about it. I also know that a lot of these communities, rightfully so, will stand up and claim racism when they're being discriminated against. And part of me says, you should have done your reading like my teacher taught me to do my reading. Because whatever racism that you think you're facing pales in comparison to the structural racism that predominantly black communities face every single day. And you can't claim racism if you're not willing to invest in, support, partner with communities who have borne the historical racism in this country for a very long time. And you need to understand why you can even be here. Because of the advocacy of black communities in the first place to pass the Immigration Rights Act. So, my hope is this. I deeply, I'll just tell you, judge me by my work. I understood what my responsibilities were. When I got the opportunity to come back to this city and rebuild this health department in the poorest majority black city in the whole country, I didn't hesitate. I knew that that was what I could do best, working alongside Detroiters to invest in addressing what I could when it came to the way that racism shapes health in this country. But we got a lot of work to do. And we're all in the same boat.
Yeah.
We all know how easy it is to pit communities against each other. And to tell us that only one community can succeed. My commitment is born in my work about who and what communities I've tried to show up and serve my entire career. And at the same time, the Arab and Muslim community, I think, has a lot to learn from the struggles of the black community and can only learn it when all of us are standing together, fighting against the way that they try to divide us and against, unfortunately, the racism we all face in our own way.
Does he get it? I think he gets it. Does he have what it takes to bridge that gap? I don't think so. First off, we are not in the same boat. We are in similar boats. The black community is in this boat. The Arab and Muslim community is in this boat. And it was the Arab and Muslim community that made sure their boat was separate from the black American community. The Arab and Muslim community can be very racist towards the black American community. Their boat is running alongside the white supremacist boat. So, Abdul El-Sayed has a lot of work to do because black Americans, we are tired of trying to stand together with people who don't want to stand with us. Black Americans don't want to stand with people who stab them in the back. And a lot of black Americans view how the Arab Muslim community voted in November of 2024 as a stab in the back. I'm just being truthful. With that said, without a doubt, black Americans will head into the voting booth to vote for the person that will cause the least amount of harm to their community in November. And that's that on that. Now, when Hasan Piker had said what he had said, some guy by the name of Jeremy Moss got pulled into it, and I believe it's because when Hasan Piker was saying what it is that he had to say, he had a picture of Jeremy Moss up on the screen. I don't know. I think people viewed that as Hasan Piker attacking Jeremy Moss, but Jeremy Moss put this statement out. It reads, since the primary election, Abdul and I have been in continual dialogue in our shared light against MAGA extremism. We have also talked about Jewish and Arab safety and security, both here at home in Michigan and in the Middle East. Coexistence among all of our communities is essential for the future prosperity of all Michiganders. These important conversations do not fit neatly in the confines of a tweet or reel, like so many want them to. I'm grateful that Abdul and I are having them. There is still work ahead to unite our ticket despite our differences. It won't happen overnight, nor should it. It will require continuing outreach that is credible and authentic. But provocateurs are exploiting this moment to create further divisions. I will not be lectured by a California podcaster about what Oakland County, Michigan's Jewish community should and shouldn't believe. And we certainly won't be gaslit, and we're responsible for the okay, let me read that sentence again. And we certainly won't be gaslit that we are responsible for the anti-Semitic harm upon us. The attempted murder of Jewish children in West Bloomfield has no justification. And as a Democrat and a believer in our Constitution, I will never agree with Mike Rogers' dangerous election denial, backing of ISIS cruelty, and obedience to Donald Trump and his future court picks that will erode our rights. Let me be clear, I'm not supporting Rogers. Called Hasan Piker a provocateur, allegedly. And so because he mentioned Mike Rogers, who is Abdul El-Sayed's opponent, he's the Republican in the race, I went over to see what Mike Rogers had to say. And this is Mike Rogers' statement. Hasan Piker's call for violence against the Jewish community, specifically against Jeremy Moss, must be condemned by every single Michigan Democrat. But con man Abdul El-Sayed doesn't have the guts to disavow his running mate. Abdul's attempt at distancing himself from the violent and hateful rhetoric now that he and Hasan won the primary is the epitome of what a con man does. Says one thing when it serves him and another when it doesn't. His rhetoric is causing fear in Michigan communities, is un-American, and makes him unfit to represent our state. Hasan Piker has the freedom to talk about whatever he wants, to say whatever it is that he wants, but Hasan Piker needs to recognize that his actions are tied to Abdul El-Sayed. And if you want this candidate that you wholeheartedly support, you need to lose the arrogance. You need to lose the entitlement. You need to sit back and shut your mouth. That's what you should do. That's just my opinion. That's what you should do. The only reason you should be talking about Abdul El-Sayed is when you are talking about his policies. That's it. That's it. Having all of this extra commentary about Abdul El-Sayed, having all of this extra commentary about it's not real, stop it. Stop it. How about you talk about his opponent, Mike Rogers? How about you call out the problematic things that he's done? How about you call out Donald Trump? Just stop with everything else. That might help. Now, I found a full clip of Hasan's commentary. I'll include it at the end because I know somebody's going to say that's a clipped up clip that you shared or whatever. Here, I'll leave the full clip and y'all can watch it at the end. Okay? Good luck to Abdul Al-Sayed. Y'all let me know your thoughts.